Hello, all. Dr. Fox back here with your weekend update. Hope you're having a good week. Oh my goodness sakes, we have so much to get into. Why don't we just get right into this, huh? Instead of the what I like to always call the mini pre-patch as I get ready to start my show, shan't we? Dr. Fox back here with you with your weekend update. As I said, we got some big things that dropped this week. We got a lot to talk about. Obviously, from the screen image that you see, it's much different than your typical boring old BattleNet starter screen like I usually have up there. Because we've got, as you can see, there's a counter there at the bottom, at least as of this recording. It'll constantly change from aspect to aspect, but we'll get into those details. So this video may kind of go on a little bit. We've got so much to cover, so bear with us. First off, I want to start off and say something very special, and just a small quick correction. Bear with me. I have a military injury, and this is not an excuse. This is just to help explain something. Due to, I guess, a miscommunication or the way I was trying to process it in my brain to get it out. I was trying to refer to my guild originally. I guess there was an individual in the guild community that pointed this out for me. So I want to just thank this individual very much for that. And what I meant to try to say is I have my guild. And then I want to put a big special thank you out to the guild community group that has been helping me. And that's all I'm going to say, just to protect their privacy for now, until they say it's okay for me to mention the name of this guild. But it is part of the guild community. I'm not actually like fully in a second guild, just it's a community with a quote-unquote space around it, if you will. So I just wanted to make sure I clarified that without any miscommunication or misunderstanding or whatnot. And I hope everybody's having a good week. With that said, let's move directions into the awesome, at least in my opinion, my opinion's version of the animated series Afterlives that starts, and we will be seeing that over the next 4 weeks as well, and I think that's going to be pretty exciting. So it's going to cover a lot of things, and for those that know me when I stream or when I am playing the game and they listen to me on through the Discord or talking to me, a lot of times I have this line that I say, and I say, Uther, Arthas, because there's this intertwining story between Uther and Arthas. And yes, sure enough, that's all I'm going to say without any other spoilers. It's kind of nice because a lot of us, like myself and others, might be clicking, and I always try to read through the dialogue as I'm playing the game. But a lot of times, every once in a while, something I might miss. And I think that just having these little shorted animated features like this, really, like we've had in the past with the other expansions as the lead up to it and building the hype and all this whatnot. And no, I do not work for Blizzard. I wish. No. So, well, let me rephrase that. Some would say otherwise. But anyway, and to the Shadowlands beginning here. We're going to see it on the 26th. So as we know, the Afterlives anime dropped this past week. And I will put that link in the description like I always do when I add my other fun-filled links, if you will. I just have an upbeat attitude, too. It's not about negative bias. A lot of times, negativity. Hazelnutty brought up a great point about this later in one of her weekend updates, and I thought that was absolutely fabulous, because her and I have a very upbeat attitude about a lot of stuff as well. And then you get your other individuals have this negative one, but sometimes they use that as clickbait, and then there's all these other situations that are playing into it. I do it out of I've spent my life helping people, and it comes out of a compassion. It's not a trolling thing. It's again, see, whenever I'm referring to that situation about trolling, it's because obviously a negative person has misinterpreted the language of what I'm trying to portray through media in this aspect, and it really kind of just gets me and makes me kind of shake my head a little bit at the misinterpretation of what's good that's coming out of it. And those can't kind of step back. All I'm saying is you're allowed to be an individual. You know, a lot of times media from all different aspects, whether it be from visual media, audio media, internet media, or any other forms and fashions of media. I know I have studied media for my whole life. And a good large portion of my life, I should say. I started out as a very young child in my bedroom with the radio on and a Mickey Mouse record player. And I would learn to go back and forth. And then I did radio for quite some time. And some would say propaganda there. But it's not about that. We did our own independent one for some time, and I worked on many different formats. Just I've learned a lot of education-wise. Anyway, I just kind of help broaden and allow you to have a little more education around what's surrounding that, allowing you to sort of think about it and, you know, take it with a grain of stride to kind of step back for a minute and go, okay, you know, you can definitely have your own opinions on that, and that's awesome, free speech and all that. But I think at the same time, we have to also take good with bad and then try to find a level of focus. This also integrates into psychology, as I've also studied. So with that said, let's kind of shift gears back. And so with that, we had the Afterlives drop on April 27th. And as we get each of the covenants covered from each week as well, I think a lot of the speculation, we don't have an exact date yet, but generally we tend to see pre-patches about 4 to 6 weeks prior to release date. So Shadowlands will officially be out October 26th, as you see here on the screen, right there. And then below, boop, boop, is the Shadowlands timer. As we go down and click down, it'll be a much different as you go to these links as well. You can find a lot of this right inside your Blizzard app right in here. So that hopefully will help. And like I said, those that know my channel, I tend to, later in the day or the next day or so, it takes me, just as I edit my videos, I try to get those links put up as quick as I can within reason, of course. So with that said, we're gonna move to the official launch date, and I'm gonna briefly talk about that 26, 27. Now, remember, if you're in a different part of the region, I'm gonna bring up that map so you have a little bit better idea. But the good news is we're all gonna get it. It'll be different time zones, because that's how the Earth has been laid out in our society with these types of time zones, but we will all be getting it technically at the same time, even though we each all have a different time. It's just like when it's 6 o'clock here and it's midnight over on the other side of the world in some aspects, if you will. So that kind of gives you some ideas, and I think Mora might be trying to make an appearance here on camera. She's trying. Yeah, there she is. Hi. Yes, my love. Oh my goodness. So when you work from home, this is what comes with it. She wanted to make a good little appearance here as well. So there will be. Bear with me. I'm trying to hold my notes. I'm trying to hold her. Okay, honey. Okay, get down for a minute. You be a real sweet pea, huh? Normally I would try to edit this video, but those that know my channel do enjoy the unedited versions and the realism that we share with all these pieces as well. So we may see that pre-patch drop either the last of the 4 animes that could be potentially somewhere around September 15th to the 29th. And for those that celebrate Yom Kippur, could be the day after that. I mean, it all depends on how it'll play out. But some think it could be after the 4th anime drops, or maybe a week prior after that. Has been the speculation. So we'll have to see how it all plays out as we get closer. Things you want to do for pre-patch. There's some great videos out there that cover a lot of that. But the Keystone Master and the Awakened Mind Bar mount will be going away, sadly. The Brontosaur will be moving to the black market. Thankfully, I got mine. It took forever. That was not an easy task. I get asked about that quite often. And, the stories I could tell about that. Let's see here. The Faceless one, a title as well, sadly will go away. This is part of the Mad World achievement. You have to solo 5 masks for Stormwind and Orgrimmar. Many of you have probably been able to do it. I am getting some help from one of the guild community members. See, I'm trying to watch my statements there. Doing the best I can. To hopefully hit that at some point, at least be high enough so I can go and do that. But I've been trying to get some help, and they've been great on running some of these raids on a regular basis. I'm not getting a lot of upgrades in the last couple weeks, but I'm hoping. I've rolled for some, but I'm grateful for the folks that they get it. You know, we got to be helpful with all those aspects as well. The Mythic... before I get into Mythic, as well as when we get into our release dates, then we move into Castle Netheran. Those that know my channel know I botch these things. The raid releases look like November 10th, November normal and heroic. The mythic part of the first tier will be November 17th, Wing 2 December 1st, Wing 3 December 15th, Wing 4 January 5th, and that will be at the point of the Happy New Year of 2021. Hopefully things will bounce back a bit better next year. Here's hoping. With that, the uncorrupted mount that I'm still trying to get at the end of Heroic Nyalosa at this point to kill N'Zoth. That will be available up till October 26th, 27th of the official release date. So you don't have to worry if the pre-patch drops. You're like, oh crap, nope. You'll still have the remaining time up till the release date for that one as well. The achievement ahead of the curve, cutting edge achievements too as well. The Hard Azeroth essences prior to pre-patch 8.3, we will see those go away as well. I've tried very hard, as well as the Jaina mount, the Tidestorm. That it's most likely you can usually do a few kills in the raid, but it's going to be dropping for when they'll start soloing it later on to about a 1% drop. My luck, I'll probably be stuck having to try to grind that thing at a 1%, and it might take 6-8 months instead of a few weeks if I could find a couple of people now. But that, my friend, has been, and it's too bad because Signs of Killarney was just offering to do that the other week on his stream with a few folks. I was trying to get into with that one and didn't quite work out. So, so a quick hello to Kalani out there as well for you, as well. So we have a lot of those pieces. The Mythic Plus and PvP seasons also will start on November 10th as well with those. So those looking to move beyond to the Mystic Keys. But I think by the time we get through, I know it's not a ton of time like some of the other expansions have been, but they should give us enough time at least to start getting in and the raids. And let's hope people are raid groups are compassionate about that, knowing that you will get pieces in raid that will help, and not expect you to come in at some massively amount and have some issue. And we know it's supposed to come down to mechanics. People shouldn't be getting so irate about mechanics, but I won't get into that aspect of it as well. That is saved for a different time. So we'll have to kind of see how that all plays out. Me personally, I still go with my main guild on Mondays. We've been working on Classic, doing a lot of things. I've been out there with my level 60 undead trying to find a cave. By the way, a quick shout out to Frostamus, aka Frost. He's got some great WoW Classic guides out there on where to farm when you're 60, as well as a few other streamers out there too have been doing some good content and covering a lot of good aspects that really help for that good WoW Classic as well. On just a quick side note for those of you that were wondering as well. For me personally, not just that, but I've been busy trying to run with that guild to get that poor Void mount quest to drop in there. I've been trying to tidy up a few old goodies. This is a lot of old content, but I just haven't been able to have the time to ever get to some of this. So I grinded. It was a nice rainy afternoon yesterday. So I said, you know what? I need a relaxing day. It's been stressful. I want to go chill and get some fishing. Now, I've got all my fishing maxed, and it has been for some time now. So that was not the thing. I've been waiting for Impus. I checked Impus a couple days ago and he wasn't up, and I was trying to figure out the calendar. Then I figured out who drops what, and then I couldn't find the calendar that actually tells you who's up right now. Even though I checked Wowhead, but it's like they've moved on because they put the daily stuff up for BFA, but they do have it in the archives, and there are other websites out there that do show the clock, but I'm trying to find that schedule. Check Reddit. I'm like, anyway, I got lucky Saturday afternoon. Impus was up. I said, what the hey? So I started fishing. We had a few people show up. I put up a few groups. We had people come and go. It was a fun afternoon. I think I rocked that out in about 2 hours and 45-ish minutes with a couple breaks in there. I always got up each hour, though. I'm in a nice stretch. It was a little sore, but I made it. And I know that grind is a bit much for some individuals. Normally, I wouldn't do it in such. Usually what my old plan was going to be to come and just do a little bit on each person each day to get through like one bar, like the 8,400 XP turned in for each one, and maybe try to do it like a week when Darkbone Fair's up for that extra 10%, or when we had that rep additional time. I wanted to do it then, but I had so many other things on my calendar at the time, I couldn't quite do it that. So I got regular rep, but I did that. And normally I would not suggest to do this in one day. I came up to the little pond, Margos's retreat up here. I put that up, and we must have had about 4 or 5 individuals come in and out of there. It was nice to get a lot of nice questions. Even I had a couple questions that someone was very kind to help me do. And we just spent that right up until I ran with that Community Guild's raid last night. And I was like 4 mana, those conjured manas or drowned manas that you need. I was about 4 away from getting him to my best friend, because they work differently. You do like pal and buddy and not particularly in that order, and then you got like friend and good friend and then best friend, and that maxes out when you get it. So now all I need to do later today is just grind out those for the just the pet and the mount. Trashy and the bottom feeder mount are the last 2 items I finally need for that one, so I can move on when they have the reset to the next Fisher friend that's up. And I want to get a little time working on my Fisher friends over the next few days as well. They've been doing a lot of research on Jennifer or something like that. It's that little cat meow that secret group has been working so hard on. It looks like they've had some breakthroughs over the last few months. So doing a little catch up on that, and seeing how that's been playing out. I got a lot of other things. Just the Pandaria toys. Holy moly! Y'all saw the excitement when I got my Brutus little pet that dropped as well. I'm very, very ecstatic as well too, because I finally gotten my toys. I've been grinding old Pandaria toys for quite some time now, and I'll check in each day and bounce between my alts and whatnot. And oh my gosh, I think I'm down to 2 more, and then there's 3. What do I have? 3 or 4 left on the Timeless Isle. I got to keep going to kill that darn snail inside Isle of Dunda. If I want that toy. I think that's just about it. Oh, and then I was doing some old archaeology, trying to figure out how to get that toy as you put together. I've got a lot of archaeology crates. And then that kind of inspired me. I was going to go out to BFA and start archaeology, but then I got sidetracked and wanted to do the fishing for a bit. And I said, I'm going to work on that. And then I've been doing some research about the alpaca down in Oldham, trying to find that little one when that one's up. And so I've just got a lot going through my head right now. I've got a little to-do list here, but I like doing it that way. I don't like to feel overwhelmed. A lot of people will log in. I know one of my guildies has told me this many times. He'll log in and he's like, I looked at the screen for a while and I just didn't know what to do, so I logged out. And I said, I feel ya. I have been there more times than I want to remember. So, with that, I'm just going to review here as well. Boy, I would love to plug away. Those reps are not that far away. I'd love to get that rep mount eventually. But that, my friends, or friend, if you're a single individual listening to me today, is for another story. So, with that said, let's switch gears and kind of wrap things up like I always do with the calendar for this week. We have the Trial of Style tomorrow. We also have the good news, everyone. That's a Futurama reference. I know one of my friends could do that voice much better, but it's all good. Time Walking Dungeon, that will begin this week as well. We have that coming around again. The PvP Brawl for Arathi Blizzard will begin this Tuesday. World Quest bonus event is actually ending throughout this week, so if you're on that, feel free to rock through that. We've got the Trial of Style dropping down 8/31 right through till September 4th through Friday. So starting tomorrow until Friday, if you haven't got your Trial of Style yet. I've done some of those. No word where, and at least until expansion drops, when, if or may, we get new style outfits. I hope we're good there, because I've got plenty of other transmogs. That's something else real quick I do check. Every once in a while I log into my Brutosaur mount, and or Brontosaur or whatever. Long neck. There's so many different names for this guy, this character, whether it be non-binary. It's all good. But I will check the auction house every once in a while for a few transmogs that I found, and slowly doing that, and been also going back to look for old recipes for my alchemist. I've got all, I think now, except a couple at least, or so for old world on my alchemist night elf, my main character. She has pretty much everything except, I think, 4 from the old world that are part of the Shatar, and one of the other emissaries I need to get up to Exalted, and I'll be able to just buy those. Those are the last couple. I even have been able to find the world drops. The world drops were a bit pricey. I shouldn't have probably spent quite so much on those in the auction house. I keep trying to wait till those drop, but I hate burning through my gold like that because I want to use it. You know, who knows what we got coming in Shadowland. Well, we got speculations and data mining and beta and all this other stuff. But anyway, we'll have to kind of see how that plays out. With that said, let's wrap it up once again. This is Dr. Fox. Remember to take 2 of those animated series, relax, sit back, enjoy some responses on how you feel about it. Take some time to contemplate. Do a couple of things maybe that you've been wanting to do for a while. Call me in the morning. And then once again, yes, have a wonderful week. And we will see you later.